Hello and welcome to the second episode of my Pure Incantation Elden Ring challenge. We just defeated Margit and today the plan is pretty simple. 1. We get few new incantations. 2. We warm up on strong enemies and mini-boss. And finally 3. Straight to Godrick. Oh, and also, of course, let's find some ways to break enemies' AI with everything we can. Back to the gameplay, you can see I just took care of Godstock. To be honest, I don't feel too guilty about it, and I'm sure if you already experienced wondering where some of your runes went the first time, you will agree with me. Then instead of trying to brute force my way through the heavy arrows, I'm opting to go left. This way is not that much longer if you know the area, and it's a convenient way for me to also loot the new chest armor that you can see now. It's not very pretty as most faith equipment, to be honest, but it gives +1 faith, so it's a nice little bonus to have early in the game. Then I kind of cheese this knight by getting him stuck behind the door. Otherwise, if you enter too far in the room, he will just jump on you, and it's really a pain to fight him in that small dark room. We then just progress through Stormveil normally, and as per tradition, just like in the last episode, you can see a great moment of brilliance with this amazing jump. Now, onto the path just left of that jump. I first focus on politely asking the few eagles around to leave, and then I head for a specific location on the Ramparts. 2 main reasons. Firstly, to get a nice incantation down there, and secondly, well, the most important, let's be honest, to regain some honor about my jumping skills. There are actually more ledges than I remembered, but after close to 10 jumps, eventually we arrive. I do not even know why I decided to get this scarab down, since it gives me a Ash of War I won't ever use, but I guess it's the power of shiny things on me. Anyway, this is the natural path to the Crucible Knight over there, and we absolutely want to fight him because he is the one dropping the incantation that we came for. In this setup, the fight is actually super easy because as long as you keep your distance, he cannot really reach back to you with that angle and the cliff. Thanks to him, we get the aspects of the Crucible Horns incantation. It is going to be very useful in specific NPC fights in the later parts of this Elden Ring challenge. We are then back on the central square of Stormveil. We could have reached it earlier if going straight instead of left from the beginning, but it is much easier to go through this zone in reverse. So we just clear that omen first, then we can head to the cellar nearby. You need a stone sword key to open it, but it's absolutely worth it for us as it gives us a very solid seal we are going to use for a long time, as well as access to Black Flame incantation. That being done, we just have one last incantation I want to get for later. It's up north in Liurnia, but since we already got the Sight of Grace on the way to Frenzied Burst in last episode, it's super quick to reach it. From Artist Shack, we just fight this Leyndell Knight. As long as we stay vigilant and don't get too close, he won't really use any of his lightning attacks. So I would say he's a bit tanky, but that's about it. That done, I was excited to go to the round table and buy both Lightning Spear and Black Flame from respectively the prayer book we got in the cellar, as well as the one we just got from this knight. But then I suddenly realized I'm totally broke and I need runes to buy it. So I decided to optimize my time and both get memory stones to expand our incantation loadout, as well as farming runes along the way. From Eurydice's Rise and then Testu's Rise, it's very quick to get a total of 2 memory stones. Then back to the round table. I was happy to eventually be able to buy the Lightning Spear, as well as the Black Flame incantation. That done, I went quickly to the Twin Maiden Husks to buy for 3000 runes another memory stone. And now we just jump back into more serious combat. It's time for a quick revenge plus warm up, and then we can go and say hi to Godrick. So as you can see over there, first we are meeting our old friend again, the Grafted Scion. A big difference now compared to episode 1 is we have a lot of choices in incantation, and our range is now more than 0 that we had with the catch flame. So I'm not even gonna play it brave. I'm just kiting him and playing around with the door because he's too big to go through. So we can see that both Lightning Spear and Black Flame are useful. Black Flame is still doing significantly more damage, especially if you include the DPS post-hit that adds a little bit. And here we are. Bye bye Grafted Scion. Now we are just cleaning up a few more enemies and then we can get ready to fight Godrick. So let me run you through the loadout for the fight. So first we have Flame of Frenzy for damage and AoE, Frenzied Burst for range, Thorns melee, Lightning Spear general damage, and Black Flame for good damage as well. And here we go! Now it's time to test our Pure Incantation challenge against Godrick.
I command thee. I am the Lord of all that is golden.
First attempt here. I am mainly trying to remember Godrick's attack pattern and arena size, so as you will see it's not very glorious. Good reminder on the wind attack here. But right after I get stun locked while rotating around him, so well, that's the end of attempt 1. I told you it would be glorious, right? At that point I'm thinking how to approach it, so my idea is to try each attempt a different incantation as a main one. So I start with the Lightning Spear. It starts pretty well, to be honest, as you can see the damage is reasonable. I try to keep some distance, but I can't do it as much as with Frenzied Burst. Still, the good thing is the cast time of Lightning Spear is fairly low, so I'm able to stay quite mobile. I get very lucky to not get hit here, but as you will see, Karma catches back on me pretty soon. I'm running here like a happy little tarnished and BAM! That's Godrick bringing me back to reality. Out of transparency, I finally show you this last warm-up attempt. I wanted to try the aspect of the Crucible horns, just for science, but I was not very confident about fighting Godrick at close range, and as you can see, seems like it is not the most fitting incantation here. Damage is actually great, but it just put me in way too many risky positions. And now we arrive to the key moment. Warm-up is basically done and I start to get back the feeling of Godrick's pattern. I still start with Black Flame because I really wanted to be able to compare all my current incantations without any bias, but trust me, at that moment I am already looking forward to using Frenzied Burst. Black Flame is probably the most damage efficient, but the problem is that depending on the distance and Godrick's current animation, it's quite common to miss him, or like here for example, so he avoids it during the cast, so in the end you lose DPS, so I would say overall it's more fine rather than great in this fight. And you see, another example of him dodging. Otherwise, something I'm trying to improve for future fights is I tend to forget to drink flasks when I'm low FP and still try to cast, just like here, when I'm basically waving hi to Godrick, so I'm wondering what he must be thinking at that moment. Then as I stay a bit closer before rotating, you saw it was easier to get a lot of damage out fast and he's nearly half HP. Then as I take my distance, you can see with this hit I actually trigger phase 2, but because the cutscene doesn't start immediately at that time, I am still worried and take more distance, and I just start to come back closer right before the cutscene. So at that time I'm happy I reached second phase, of course, from first serious try, but I mostly don't want to have to restart again, so I'm like, okay, fine, we tested all the new incantations, now let's just not take any chances and finish this fast. So I used the incantation I'm most confident with, Frenzied Burst. Obviously with this incantation the main advantage is you can hit from very long range, so I'm taking my distance first, because in this phase he has so many more long range attacks. So I'm trying to get as much damage as I can, and around here I see he's loading the wind attack, so I'm waiting for it to try and dodge it. The first dodge goes well, the second is actually a miss, but because I can get the third one in just after, in the end it turns out well and I can dodge the attack fully. So then again I'm trying to put as much damage as I can before it gets dangerous. But as you can see, I overstay my welcome and get punished for it. So at this point I'm mid-life trying to escape the fire, but as I get hit I'm like, oh no, already going to next try. Somehow, because I don't get hit again, I manage to heal and run away. And at this point I'm feeling much better, because yes, I get hit, but I still have regeneration. Much more distance. With Frenzied Burst I'm fine. So I can get back to damaging the boss. And it's just few more hits to go. I have to roll back here, otherwise as you can see from the ground I would get hit and it would cancel the animation. But since I get that roll properly, I drink properly the flask as well. Then here we are. Sorry Godrick, you won't be the one stopping us today. And with it, that's one more major boss down. So in order to increase the challenge and see if a boss can make us lose faith in our pure incantation build, instead of going to the academy, the following stop we are heading for next episode will be Stormveil Castle, so that we can have a discussion with Redan about our incantation addiction. Otherwise, as always, if you enjoyed this content and want to follow this journey and future game challenges, like, subscribe, and most important, thanks for watching and stay awesome.